I, 26, have been with my girlfriend, 25, for 3 years. Our excess life had been slowing down over the last year, and we have been trying to revive it. My girlfriend even went as far as suggesting an open relationship, and I shut the idea down. Our excess life spiraled down from there. It took a nosedive and never recovered till now. When we began our relationship 3 years ago, we couldn't keep our hands off each other. We loved each other deeply, and our connection was beyond excess as we shared other hobbies. But the spark that once ignited our passion seemed to have faded. One evening, as we sat on the couch discussing our concerns, she came across Mojo Upgrade online. Intrigued by the idea, we decided to give it a shot. We believed that an open and honest exploration of our desires and fantasies could just be what we needed to revive our bedroom. We set aside a quiet evening, dimmed the lights, and lit some scented candles. With our laptop in front of us, we navigated to the Mojo Upgrade website and began answering the questionnaire. It felt a bit nerve-wracking at first, but we were committed to being vulnerable and honest with each other. The questions covered a wide range of topics, from new positions to trying out different role-playing scenarios. We answered individually, selecting yes, no, or if my partner is interested for each item. It was eye-opening to see the range of desires and interests we both had that we had never discussed before. This led us to make an effort to completely open up our actual desires, kinks, and fantasies. After a few weeks, our excess life improved dramatically. We started to explore really crazy stuff in the bedroom. I saw part of her that I've never seen before. It was like getting to know her again, and we were happier and hornier than ever. Then a few weeks into it, we started pushing the boundaries of what we were saying to each other, and it took a turn that made me uncomfortable. One of the things we have been doing is talking about our fantasies while we F. As I talk about mine, she will push me for more details and vice versa. Really hot stuff to be that open and free. Then she started talking about how much interracial excess, specifically black men and white women, we are both white by the way, turns her on. It started out pretty normal and I didn't have any issue with it, but it morphed into something strange. She would say stuff about how she wants to be defiled or made impure by a black man. She would say things that I would consider racist. As if that wasn't enough, she went from that to actually calling people's name, someone we both knew. It was really weird. She said she would love to be defied by him when I wasn't home. He used to be a close black friend. She mentioned my black friend by name. Let's call him Chris. Chris and I grew up together, but we started growing distant around the time I began dating my girlfriend. I thought we grew apart, I guess. I would invite him to things that we grew up doing, and he would either tell me that he was busy and always have an excuse why he couldn't make it. Back then, his girlfriend just had a baby, so life was getting busy for him, and we stopped hanging out. I want to be clear that I don't have problem with interracial excess, but for her to mention his name while we were having excess came close to home for me, and how she went into detail of how she wanted to be bred and degraded by him. Looking back to when I was close with Chris, when I started dating my girlfriend, I thought she had interacted with Chris a couple of times and they barely knew each other, making this whole thing even more strange. I honestly believe nothing wrong with people of different races getting together. I also think it's totally fine for people to be attracted to features that might be particular to one race or another. But the fact that she narrowed into a friend that I used to be close with but suddenly started avoiding me when I started dating her made me feel like there was more to this story. The following day, it was all I could think about. I thought something must have happened between them for her to be mentioning his name after all this time. I knew the manner in which I confront her about it was important. Otherwise, she would deny it and it would be the end of the story. So I started out pretty general in terms of how she likes being more open in the bedroom. We both agreed that it's been a good experience. Then I stirred the conversation towards her interracial fetish, saying I wanted to talk about it outside the bedroom. I tried to do it in a way that wouldn't make her defensive, but it kind of seemed to get that way at the start. I didn't offer any judgment or commentary. I was just curious why she mentioned Chris's name. She responded that it could have been any other black male but he was the closest one that came to mind. I told her that she could have picked anyone else, a celebrity or something, but she mentioned my friend, Chris. She was adamant that it could have been anyone else, and he was just available. I asked her if she was attracted to him, and she said yes, and I asked her if she cheated on me with him, and she got up and stormed out of the bedroom in anger. She later came back and told me that I was being childish and jealous, and I was breaking the rules of judging her, and I was the reason why she couldn't fully open up around me and express herself because I was too rigid and suspicious. She explained that it had nothing to do with my friend Chris, and that it was just that it has always been her kink that she never experienced. I paid attention to her and let her talk. I learned there were two big reasons why she became so interested in this fetish. The first was something I didn't know about her. When they go to college, she said all her friends had white boyfriends before college, but broke up with them and seek out black men. She couldn't follow through because she loved her boyfriend. By the time my girlfriend broke up with his boyfriend in college, her group of friends had moved out of that phase, and my girlfriend didn't get to experience it. After graduating, they would meet up at reunions or parties, and I guess her friend would talk about how the excess they had during this phase was, and how it was the craziest in their life. She said they talked about how it felt transgressive to them. The way she described it, the thrill was linked to a lot of stereotype, rough excess, penis size, and etc. But according to my girlfriend, the girls all treat this phase in their life as a dirty secret, but nevertheless, a transformational part of their actual histories. Many of them, including my girlfriend, come from small towns originally. The second reason is that after she broke up with her boyfriend, she tried to hook up with several black men, but was too nervous or something would come up that prevent her from following through with it. So after several attempts, it never happened. Then she met me and relegated it to fantasy that she would never experience or mention except when she's around her group of friends. I asked her if that was why she brought up Chris' name. She said yes. I asked her again if she cheated on me with Chris. She got angry and she reiterated that they have never did anything because we're in a relationship. I didn't believe her story because I thought it was weird that a childhood friend would all of a sudden start avoiding me and then drop off from the face of the earth. He wouldn't call me unless I called him, but I knew where he lives and works. I felt like something really happened between Chris and my girlfriend. The best way to find out is to ask Chris to his face to see how he reacts so I can tell if he's lying. It's hard to read someone over the phone. He used to be a very close friend and I knew where he worked. I decided to confront him one day when he came out of the building he works in. He was surprised to see me. I went straight to the point and asked him if he was avoiding me because something went on between him and my girlfriend. He tried to play aloof and goof around, but I stayed on him. He said that several things drifted us apart, mostly because of personal responsibilities with his girlfriend and job. However, he mentioned that he felt uncomfortable hanging out with me while my girlfriend was around because she was constantly flirting with him, and he knew that it was just a matter of time before he gave in to it. So instead of telling me, he avoided the temptation altogether because he knew how much I loved my girlfriend, and he couldn't betray his friend by sleeping with his friend's girlfriend. He sounded almost convincing, but his body language gave him away. I had my reservations. After our conversation, he admitted that there was some flirting going on, something my girlfriend never admitted to. I left thinking something must have really happened between them. I felt like there was more to the story than he was letting on, and I was going to get to the bottom of it. When I went home that day, I confronted my girlfriend, telling her that Chris said she was flirting with him, and he stopped coming because of her. She blew up on me and started saying that Chris was the one that was coming on to her, and she shut him down. What a turn of events. I pressed her further because she didn't tell me any of this during our first conversation. After some trickle-truthing, she finally confessed that they had excess once, and she felt guilty about it. I asked her if that was why she wanted an open relationship in the past. She responded that she was feeling guilty about it, and Chris convinced her. She suggested an open relationship to remove the guilt and to get my permission to cheat, but I shut her down. So she claimed that she stopped and gave Chris an ultimatum to either stay away or she would complain to me. I was shocked and angry. I immediately got on the phone and called Chris. When he picked up, I put him on speaker in the presence of my girlfriend so I could have both of them duke it out and judge which one of their story is true. When Chris was on the speakerphone, I told my girlfriend to repeat what she just told me. She repeated what she said, but this time, she wasn't blaming everything entirely on Chris like she did a few minutes ago. When Chris started denying everything and accusing her of lying, all hell broke loose, and they both started accusing each other and exposing each other. I just stood back and listened. After they were done exposing each other, I told Chris that he was a terrible friend and that we have known each other for so long, and he should have told me when my girlfriend was flirting with him. He responded that he didn't want to get into our drama, and he felt like everything would be okay if he was out of the picture, so he decided to limit contact instead. As Chris and my girlfriend were arguing on the phone about who and what and when, listening to them told me all I needed to know. It was clear that they knew each other and met up behind my back on several occasions as they recalled various incidents that I wasn't aware of to prove each other's case. I think their affair may have led to our dead bedroom somehow, but I couldn't tell who was telling the truth. But one thing is certain, and that is my girlfriend cheated on me, whether Chris admitted to it or not. Moreover, my girlfriend had more to lose. Who do you think is telling the truth? I asked my girlfriend for text messages between her and Chris, and she claimed that she deleted all their text conversations. She apologized to me and said that she would give me a hall pass to sleep with other women, but I declined. She apologized and wanted to reconcile, but 1 week after discovery, I couldn't stop feeling bad about her affair and my friend's betrayal. So I decided to break up with her, and she moved out of my apartment. As for Chris, I cut him off my life for good. Thank you for staying to the end of this story. Share your opinion on the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and have a wonderful day.